ladies and gentlemen, my name's Brian, and welcome to the very first episode of ZombPocalypse. Now, before I get too much into the show, what the show I'm going to do, before I fully get into the episode, I want to introduce myself. Once again, my name is Brian. When I started ZombPocalypse, I wanted to do something that's a little different than any other podcast that I know of that's out there. I want to go on Reddit and see what everybody's take on surviving a zombie apocalypse. I mean, there's a shit ton of books, movies, video games on how they survive a zombie apocalypse. What about the average Joe? I mean, I don't know anybody on that platform. I don't know anybody. They're just regular fans like myself who likes zombies, who likes give their input on how they would survive the zombie apocalypse. Now you can just read a whole bunch of books on how they would survive, but what about you? How would you survive the zombie apocalypse? What are some of the rules that you will follow? What are some of the rules that you will follow? What are some tips and tricks that you would do? What would you bring to the table if the zombie apocalypse hit? Would you just give up right away? Would you fight? Would you just go along and have fun? This is what ZombPocalypse is all about. It's all about you. How would you survive the zombie apocalypse? Of course, I'm not an expert. I'm just a regular guy who works every day, 40 hours a week, sometimes more. I have a family, have wife and kids. So would I survive the zombie apocalypse? Doubtful. But you know what? I will fight as much as I can for my family. So, what about you? Would you survive? Would you fight? Or would you just lay down and say fuck it and just give up? Or would you have do you have what it takes to survive? I know there's a survivalists out there. I know there's preppers out there. And there's better people out there who would definitely survive, have more chance of surviving than I do. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear your voice. So I go on Reddit. I join a couple of zombie apocalypse survivals tactics. There's one called Zombie Survival Tactic, and I joined another group that's just plain old says zombies. It's just they talk about surviving the apocalypse. They talk about some gear that they have, and also some tips and tricks, or even some scenarios they go through. So I read them off to you. I read some of the comments some people have said, and I give them my own opinion too. Why not? I give my opinion about that type of scenario, or even some tips and tricks that I may have. Am I the smartest guy in the world? Fuck no. Am I the most smartest guy in the world? Fuck no. I'm not an expert I'm not an expert survivalist. I'm just a regular Joe, like I said before. So, for the very first couple of episodes, I wanted to go through some rules. Some zombie apocalypse rules that some people have, that some people written down. But since we're in the day and age of AI, I've asked the top 50 survival rules of the zombie apocalypse. So I asked ChatGPT, write a zombie survival guide. How to survive the apocalypse with accurate information and pinpoint positions. How to use weapons and making camp. How to kill zombies, make friends in the apocalypse, and how to survive in rough conditions. Now, I'm not going to read it. I'm going to have ChatGPT read it for you. Now, am I going to ask ChatGPT all the time? No. But I just want the first couple episodes, I'll ask ChatGPT. The first episode, I want to ask ChatGPT how to write a zombie survival guide. And the next episode, I'm going to base off Zombieland's survival guide. Now, the second episode is not going to be 100%. And the second episode is going to be mainly about Zombieland and how what their survival guide is, and I'm going to compare the two. What one would you follow? Would you follow both of them, ChatGPTs, or would you follow Zombieland? So let's compare the two. So there's top 50, the top 50 survival. So I got 50 of ChatGPT's survival guide. So let me know what you think after this. I'll give a little bit of my own opinion too at the end and go from there. So let's have ChatGPT take it over.
Title: The Ultimate Zombie Survival Guide 1. Securing a safe location. Choose a location with defensible features like high ground, clear sightlines, and limited access points. Avoid urban areas and densely populated areas as they may harbor more zombies. 2 weapons and defense. Prioritize silent weapons such as crossbows and melee weapons to avoid attracting more zombies. Firearms should be used sparingly to avoid drawing attention and always aim for headshots. 3. Camp setup. Establish a well-hidden and easily defendable campsite. Set up perimeter alarms using tripwires and cans to alert you of approaching zombies. 4. Survival skills. Learn basic first aid for treating injuries and illnesses. Master essential outdoor skills like fire building, foraging, and purifying water. 5. Zombie combat techniques. Focus on headshots to incapacitate zombies effectively. Travel in small, coordinated groups to minimize risks and increase your chances of survival. 6. Building alliances. Approach survivors cautiously and assess their intentions before forming alliances. Strengthen bonds by sharing resources and skills, fostering trust in your group. 7. Resource management. Conserve supplies and ration food to ensure long-term survival. Scavenge abandoned areas for useful items, but remain vigilant for potential threats. 8. Navigation and movement. Plan multiple routes to avoid predictable patterns. Use natural landmarks for navigation and minimize unnecessary noise during travel. 9. Weathering rough conditions. Adapt to changing weather by securing adequate clothing and shelter. Prepare for extreme conditions like cold nights or scorching days. 10. Continuous vigilance. Stay alert to your surroundings, always being ready for potential threats. Develop a system of watch shifts to ensure 24/7 surveillance of your camp. Remember, flexibility and adaptability are key to surviving a zombie apocalypse. Regularly reassess your situation and be prepared to adjust your strategies accordingly. Stay vigilant, stay silent, and stay alive. 11. Vehicle usage. Utilize vehicles for quick and efficient travel, but be cautious of noise and fuel consumption. Maintain and fortify vehicles to withstand potential attacks. 12. Communication. Establish a secure communication system within your group. Use coded messages and signals to avoid revealing your location to potential threats. 13. Long-term sustainability. Consider sustainable practices like farming and rainwater harvesting for a stable food and water source. Develop skills in animal trapping and fishing to supplement your diet. 14. Hygiene and health. Prioritize personal hygiene to prevent infections and illnesses. Regularly inspect and treat any injuries to avoid complications in the harsh conditions. 15. Strategic retreats. Be prepared to retreat if your current location becomes compromised. Identify backup safe zones and establish pre-planned escape routes. 16. Psychological resilience. Maintain a positive mindset and support each other emotionally. Develop coping mechanisms to deal with the stress and trauma of the apocalypse. 17. Improvised weapons. Learn to create improvised weapons from readily available materials. Be resourceful, turning everyday items into tools for survival and defense. 18. Night operations. Develop night vision skills and use low-light strategies to minimize the risk of encounters. Establish a secure nighttime routine to avoid attracting attention. 19. Information gathering. Monitor radio frequencies for potential broadcasts from other survivors. Gather intelligence on zombie behavior and patterns to enhance your strategic planning. 20. Adapting to change. Understand that survival requires constant adaptation to evolving circumstances. Regularly review and update your survival plan based on new information and experiences. In the world of the undead, survival demands a combination of strategic planning, resourcefulness, and a resilient mindset. By staying informed, agile, and working together, you increase your chances not just to survive, but to thrive in the face of the zombie apocalypse. Stay vigilant, stay smart, and stay alive. 21. Education and skills enhancement. Continuously acquire new skills to enhance your group's overall survival capabilities. Share knowledge within the group to create a well-rounded and adaptable team. 22. Scouting and reconnaissance. Regularly send out scouting parties to gather information about nearby areas. Identify potential threats and resources, maintaining an up-to-date map of your surroundings. 23. Crisis management. Establish a clear chain of command to facilitate quick decision-making during crises. Conduct regular drills to ensure everyone knows their roles and responsibilities. 24. Strategic alliances. Forge alliances with other survivor groups to strengthen your collective defenses. Share resources and intelligence to foster a network of support. 25. Mental preparedness. Train your mind to handle stress and uncertainty through mindfulness and meditation. Develop resilience to overcome the psychological challenges posed by the apocalypse. 26. Diversion tactics. Learn effective diversion techniques to distract and redirect zombie hordes. Use decoys and noise to manipulate the movement of zombies away from your location. 27. Medical training. Have at least one member with advanced medical training in your group. Stockpile medical supplies and create a medical facility within your camp. 28. Prioritizing targets. Identify high-priority targets for resource gathering, considering risk versus reward. Evaluate potential dangers and benefits before venturing into unknown territories. 29. Maintaining morale. Organize recreational activities to boost morale and maintain a sense of normalcy. Celebrate achievements and milestones to foster a positive group dynamic. Legacy planning. Develop a plan for the future, including education and upbringing for children in the group. Establish a legacy that goes beyond survival, contributing to rebuilding a post-apocalyptic society. Surviving a zombie apocalypse is not just about staying alive in the moment, but about laying the groundwork for a sustainable future. By evolving, learning, and supporting one another, you'll not only endure the challenges of the undead world, but contribute to the resilience and resurgence of humanity. Stay united, stay strategic, and ensure that your survival story becomes a testament to human endurance. 31. Infiltration and stealth. Develop skills in infiltrating areas unnoticed to gather critical information. Practice stealth techniques to avoid detection by both zombies and potential hostile groups. 32. Relocation strategies. Plan for the possibility of having to relocate your entire group to a safer region. Consider factors like climate, resources, and potential threats when choosing new locations. 33. Wilderness survival. Enhance your wilderness survival skills for scenarios where urban areas are no longer viable. Learn to navigate dense forests, find edible plants, and identify wildlife for food. 34. Community building. Engage with other survivor communities to exchange knowledge and resources. Collaborate on large-scale projects that benefit multiple groups, fostering a sense of unity. 35. Hazardous materials awareness. Be cautious of potential contamination zones or hazardous materials during scavenging. Equip your group with protective gear to minimize exposure to toxic substances. 36. Energy generation. Explore alternative energy sources such as solar panels or wind turbines for long-term sustainability. Reduce dependence on traditional power grids to avoid attracting unwanted attention. 37. Animal companions. Consider domesticating animals for companionship, security, and resource utilization. Train animals to assist in various tasks, providing an additional layer of defense. 38. Language and communication codes. Develop a unique language or code for communication within your group. Use symbols or secret phrases to convey important information discreetly. 39. Cultural preservation. Document and preserve cultural knowledge, traditions, and history. Pass down stories and skills to future generations to maintain a sense of identity. 40. Continual innovation. Encourage innovation and adaptability within your group. Stay open to unconventional solutions for unforeseen challenges in the post-apocalyptic world. Surviving the zombie apocalypse requires a dynamic approach that evolves with the ever-changing landscape. By combining resilience, innovation, and collaboration, your group can not only endure but thrive in the face of adversity. Remember, the key is not just to survive, but to build a resilient and sustainable community in the aftermath. Stay resourceful, stay inventive, and ensure that humanity endures against all odds. 41. Weather forecasting skills. Develop the ability to predict weather patterns to anticipate and prepare for harsh conditions. Utilize natural signs and tools like barometers to enhance your forecasting capabilities. 42. Strategic use of noise. Understand the psychological impact of noise on zombies and potential threats. Use controlled noise strategically to manipulate movements or distract adversaries. 43. Advanced defensive structures. Fortify your camp with advanced defensive structures like barricades, trenches, and watchtowers. Create choke points and controlled entry points to enhance security. 44. Rapid evacuation protocols. Establish efficient evacuation protocols for immediate relocation in emergency situations. Conduct regular drills to ensure everyone is familiar with the procedures. 45. Psychological warfare. Employ psychological tactics against adversaries to create fear or confusion. Develop a reputation that discourages potential threats from targeting your group. 46. Ethical decision-making. Establish a code of ethics within your group to guide decision-making during moral dilemmas. Strive to maintain humanity and compassion even in dire circumstances. 47. Underground hideouts. Consider creating hidden underground shelters for added protection against both zombies and hostile groups. Ensure these hideouts have adequate ventilation, supplies, and escape routes. 48. Survivalist trading networks. Develop networks for trading goods and resources with other survivor groups. Establish a system for bartering and exchanging skills to meet mutual needs. 49. Adaptive fashioning. Learn to repurpose and adapt technology from the pre-apocalyptic world. Modify existing items into useful tools and devices for your survival needs. 50. Renewable energy solutions. Investigate long-term renewable energy solutions such as hydroelectric or geothermal power. Reduce reliance on finite resources to ensure sustainability in the long run. Remember, the key to thriving in a post-apocalyptic world is not just survival, but continuous adaptation. By combining practical skills, strategic thinking, and ethical decision-making, your group can navigate the challenges of the new world. Stay vigilant, stay united, and ensure that the legacy of humanity endures against the odds.
Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, was the top 50 zombie survival rules by no other than ChatGPT. What do you guys think about it? Should I do more of ChatGPT, or should I not? The next week's episode, I plan to do ChatGPT again, but under the rules of Zombieland. I asked ChatGPT do the zombie survivor rules of Zombieland, and it says on there it's inspired by the Zombieland, and I want to compare the two of them and see how close and compare the two and see how close they are in comparison. I know you can go to any type of person and they have their own zombie rules out there. Of course, in the zombie apocalypse, rules always change throughout during the duration of the apocalypse. Some rules you have to break, some rules you have to add, and all that good stuff. I want you guys write down your zombie survival rules. Send them in, and I would love to hear your zombie survival rules. Of course, every person's rules are different, but if you compare them all together, they're basically kind of the same, you know. It's basic survival, get food, get water, get shelter, and it depends what type of zombies you're dealing with, you know. You go from there, you know. Throughout during this podcast, I would love to touch base with different types of zombies. I love to go with the Last of Us type of zombies. I would love to go through the 20 Days Later type of zombies, and the new version of Dawn of the Dead, the fucking runner zombies, man. Oh, man. That's what I would love to do throughout this podcast. I want to touch base with every single type of zombies that is out there and see how well we survive and how well that humanity can survive. I mean, I know humans can adapt to any type of situation, and thrive. But since this modern day, we've been depending on electricity and all that good stuff. But what if that's all taken away? Yeah, humanity can easily thrive without it. We can go back and survive off the land and stuff, and we can adapt. That's what humans can do. We can adapt. I kind of want to go over a couple of rules that I thought was pretty interesting. When I went over these rules, I think ChatGPT done a very wonderful job of giving us these top 50 rules. I know with rule number 6, building alliances, I know it's going to be kind of hard to build alliances, I believe, because not everybody's going to get along, because they're going to have their different beliefs, different type of personalities and stuff, and I think everything's going to be extremely heightened, and I think they're going with their own type of rules they have in mind. Some people will snap, and I think a lot of people are going to snap. They're going to go fucking crazy, because death is continuously all around. If you're able to build alliances, wonderful. I mean, all the books that I've read, they always build alliances, and they already have a small group started from a group of friends, or basically in the military, or police officers and all that shit. So having alliances is, I think it's a great idea to have alliances and stuff. But I'm not going really too much into detail about my opinion, all this. But I think the most important thing on this is obviously, again, food, water, and shelter. You gotta definitely get those. Get more education and skill enhancements. Like I said, I'm not really going into much detail about this because ChatGPT done a wonderful job of explaining each rule, and pretty much short, sweet, and down to the point. So maybe I can redo the rules, or maybe I type in the description in the first place, I change the rules a little bit and go from there. All right, you guys, I'm gonna head out for today. Thank you so much if you listened all the way to this point. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, evening, morning, or whenever you're listening to this. Be kind to one another. I love you. Thank you so much for listening. You guys are amazing. Be kind to one another. Help each other out whenever you can. Be safe. Be kind. And I'll see you guys later.